Hello and welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope for the 11th of May 2015. The moon today is in the sign of Aquarius and in the nakshatra of Dhanishtha. So, have you so quickly forgotten the lesson that you learned yesterday? Have you forgotten the moment of perception where you saw how everything was kind of joined together or connected and was giving you the insight which you needed to proceed? Have you forgotten it so quickly? Well, you seem to be perhaps acting as if you have forgotten that that's the case. Otherwise, why would you be amplifying your approach today when really there is no need to amplify? Certainly, it may feel today like something is not working out quite as well as you might like for it to. So then the temptation is for you to amplify on your own end in response to the resistance that you are perhaps perceiving, when really the best thing that you can do is allow yourself to be acted through. Sit with the wisdom that you know, sit with the knowledge that you have, allow that to be your driving force. You too are a part of the universe, so to act as if you are in a state of poverty when perhaps you are in a state of greater abundance than you can even see is going to only put you in a space where you get in your own way. You get in Spirit's way. If you get in Spirit's way, you're getting in your own way. Really, it's ultimately the same thing. Let's talk a little bit about Dhanishtha and see if we can understand some of the processes that you're perhaps going through. But first, actually, before we go into Dhanishtha, let's cover what Tithi it is today, because that's going to kind of give us a clue as to what's going on. It's Krishna Ashtami, which is the 8th day of the dark half of the moon. Once we get past about the 5th day of the dark half of the moon begins to lose a lot of its vigor because it's approaching the new moon. So it begins to lose its strength. And we're actually on a day that's ruled by the moon. So there is the propensity to become emotionally reactive. The solar lunar yoga today is Brahma. Brahma comes in and creates new forms after something old has been destroyed. Only there are inclinations and hints that are kind of cluing one into the fact that perhaps you're not using the information or the insight which you might have gained yesterday as wisely as you might be able to. You haven't learned the lessons of past mistakes where you've perhaps gotten in your own way, and instead you're falling prone to getting in your own way again, right? And how does this all tie into Dhanishtha? Well, Dhanishtha is symbolized by something called a mridanga, which if you ever see pictures of Shiva, he's holding a drum that's two-sided, and he is banging, the drum has a little pellet on it, and he's banging the drum with that. It's also symbolized by Krishna's flute. Now, if you think of the human body is a skin that's drawn somewhat tightly over the bones, and we're each a drum that the music of consciousness is playing itself through. Right? We're each the flute that Krishna's tune is being played through. And if you look at the analogy and the symbolism of the two sides of the drum, you can see the duality of human existence. But the idea is to allow oneself to be a channel for the energy that is needing to flow through you. If there's too much attachment to the outcome of the event, then ultimately Dharma is going to fail. The path of righteousness is going to fail. You're not going to be connected to that. Instead, you're going to get wrapped up in your dramas and all the things that are ultimately going to pull the event that you're dealing with down. And that's what we don't want. So what's important today? What's important today is to purify, is to recognize the space that you came to yesterday, and bring yourself back to that space and go, you know what? I don't have to get emotionally involved in this. I don't have to amplify my approach. Instead, I can just do what feels and comes natural. Unless, of course, throwing a tantrum is what comes natural. Because that's only going to get in the way of your particular situation. Amplifying your response in response to the resistance which you might be encountering today is only going to bring more resistance. But instead, if you purify your intent and go to where you know your heart is, and remember the wisdom that you came to yesterday. I know I keep repeating that, but there's a connection. You can see the reality of a situation more clearly now if you really want to look at it. And let's definitely hope that you do, because ultimately that's what's going to help you to attain the success that you want in your endeavors. Of course, this has just been a brief look at the lunar energy for the day and the planets particularly associated with it. This is going to be taking place in a different area of each person's life, dependent upon where these energies are falling, what houses they're transiting. So many different factors. If you'd like to know a little bit more about this, or even if you're just facing a perplexing situation and could use some insight, I do offer a vast range of astrological services, which are available through my website. There's a link further down below on the astrological service, to the astrological services page, I should say. If you've closed down that link already, further down in the description area of this page, there's another link, and it will take you to my astrological services page where there's a description of each service that I offer. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page yet, please consider doing so that you can receive regular updates every time a new video is released. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for the 11th of May, 2015. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.